If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you date me on the regular? Tell me, would you? Well, baby, I've been
Crown Baller, take one. Action. That's a wrap.
Okay, babe, so we're gonna hop right into this tutorial. To start, I just want to show you guys that this hair was from Wig Dealer, and it is the 22-inch bundle that I am dyeing. I wanted to make all of my bundles the same color, and this was an extra bundle that I thought that I needed, so I just wanted to show you guys the process of me dyeing it. So I used the L'Oreal High Color copper, and then I also added sizzling copper with it, and it came out like super pretty. I wish I would have left it on a little longer because the roots weren't as light as I wanted to be. Next, I'm going in, just touching up my hair with the same color. I'm only using the sizzling, no, I use both of them, sorry. I use the sizzling copper and the regular copper on my hair. As you can see, my hair is already ginger. Now, this is the mistake that I made that I want to make sure that I let you know. Don't do your roots first, especially if you're coloring your hair from like jump, you don't have any color in your hair. Don't do the roots first because you will get what I got, and you will see at the end of the video. But you want to color your hair first to let it lift first, and then color the rest of your, then go on with your roots, because you're going to get hot roots, which is what you'll see later in this video. But anywho, I did my eyebrows, and then the next day I went ahead and got my friend to braid down my hair, and we're going to get into the sewing process. So here is my braiding pattern. I just have like 2 braids in the front that are just going all the way to the back of my head, and then the rest are just going straight back. Very simple, very easy. If this is a quick weave, whatever the case, same pattern or even bigger braids, but for me this was perfect for me. And I'm just showing you guys me needling my thread because baby, this is a sew-in. It's sew-in season. It's the summertime. We're ready for all activities with a sew-in. Love a quick weave because it is quick. But a sew-in for me is just like, y'all know I play basketball, I'm always working out. I don't have to worry about my track slipping or a cap lifting, child. It's sewn down. We're not going nowhere, okay? I do like to use a net to put my sew-ins in, just because it just allows me to put more hair on where there is no hair. So you guys see that space where the other braids are like lifted, and then that one anchor braid going along my nape of my neck. I can put hair there even though there's no braid, if that makes sense. So that's why I like to use a net. Nevertheless, after I sew on the net, I go ahead and start with my first bundle, which is I believe a 22, because originally I got an 18, a 20, and a 22. So this is the first bundle, and I'm doubling all of my wefts until I get to the top, just because I want to squeeze as much hair in as possible. I ordered another bundle because I thought that the hair wouldn't be as full as I wanted it to be. But child, I couldn't fit no more on my head, and y'all will see later. Like, I had hair left over from the top bundle. So I just continue to sew the hair in. When I get to the front, I kind of separate the 2 wefts because I am doubling my weft. So I separate the 2 and make it 1, and then I sew down the 1 weft to make sure that it's flat, and then I sew down the second part of the weft, and then I continue to go on with the sewing, because I don't want especially when you get to the front of your head, you don't want the flip to be bumpy. You want it to be as flat as possible, which is also the case for how we're gonna close out the sew-in. You guys will see again a little bit later, but yeah, we want everything as flat as possible. So once you probably go through the flipped part, like sew it down maybe 2 or 3 times, make sure baby is flat, and then you just continue along sewing it in a pretty much like a horseshoe motion. So I'm just sewing it all the way around in a horseshoe motion, back and forth. And then once I get to the front, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it again. I had to change my thread because it ended, but see, now you guys see me separating that top weft, and I'm going to just sew that down so that it's flat. And then once I finish making sure that is flat, I'm just gonna pick up that same weft, or the second weft, and continue to sew with it doubled. Okay, so that is me sewing in. This is 2 bundles, and now I have like this horseshoe left, and this is the 18-inch bundle. So right now I'm gonna stop doubling, and I'm just gonna single weft, sew on it single weft. And I'm just going to continue to sew along the horseshoe motion until I get to a point where I feel like I've had enough horseshoe. Okay, now you guys see me kind of just flipping the hair over straight directly. That's what we're going to go into. Okay, so you're just going to flip your hair back and forth to each side until you get to a very small piece in the front. So here's our small piece in the front, and here is where the Ivy's flip over method is really important. If this was a quick weave, this would be where you would actually cut little bitty pieces and glue them along. But since I wanted to show you guys a method where I didn't have to cut the wefts, and I'm just flipping it in literally a zigzag motion. That's what this is. So I'm gonna literally, like, as small as I can, flip over my track in this little small section. This is just a small little rectangular area, and I'm going to continue to just flip my weft back and forth until we close this section. If you want to make it a little bit smaller, that's completely up to you. It's all about your preference. I actually personally, since I have it in my head now, I would have made this section a little bit smaller so I wouldn't have to have it so big. But that was it. Like, that's the original flip over method. Like, the girls that are doing the flip overs now, like, that's not really the flip. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Ivy's original flip over method. And you want to make sure that you sew it, like, whatever way you're going to flip your hair the most, that's where you want your flip to lay. So if you want it to lay the opposite way, you feel like you're going to flip it over more that way, you want to sew it the opposite direction. But make sure that those sections are as close as possible. And once she's done, you want to close her up just by sewing that little extra piece back and forth. So the look that I was going for was just this cute curly long bob, like very much blunt cut. I've been obsessed with this look, literally waiting for my hair. So I'm gonna I put my hair in 2 pigtails, and then I go ahead and cut it, child. As you can tell by my face, I wasn't too confident, but we made it work. I don't know what happened to that footage, honestly. I was also making a reel, so maybe that's what happened to it, but it got cut off of me cutting the other ponytail. But you guys see, it was very simple. I literally just cut the ponytail and made it blunt. And then if you want to go in and shape, that's exactly what I'm doing now, just cutting any loose ends and all of that good stuff. So here I'm just showing you guys, like, the method that I use, which you'll see me later, like, unravel. I just take a piece of the hair and then take a piece of my natural hair and literally just twist it. Like, I only blew my hair out and then had it in 2 twists in the front of my head for the inside you guys seen. And then that's how I left the house. Okay, later on I went ahead and added products. This is me at the resort, off the plane, boob sweat and all, child, boob sweat and all. It was so hot in Mexico, but I wore my flexi rides, which are this really tiny flexi rides. So you'll see another video of me actually detailed in how I blend my natural hair with the weave. But I always take a piece of my natural hair and then put a piece with the weave. It just helps with more of a seamless, like, look, even if you don't have the same textured hair. But this is the finished look. Like, literally, I'm obsessed. I got so many compliments. Is it mine? Yes, it is. You see the hot roots, but nevertheless, baby is popping. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you on the next one.